Short answer, no. However, that's the end of today's video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. So there's been recent speculation within the gaming community over whether or not GTA 6 will cost $100 at launch. Now, if we think realistically, the standard version of the game will cost $70, while a deluxe version might cost $100. The big issue here, though, isn't the fact that people wouldn't buy GTA 6 for $100. The main big issue is how this would affect the rest of the gaming industry. Because if you guys remember, NBA 2K21 was the first game of the current console generation to charge an extra $10 to make it cost $70, and then shortly after, it became the standard, and as of now, most modern games cost $70. And if you also noticed, NBA 2K is a franchise owned by, well, 2K, and 2K's parent company is Take-Two Interactive, which is the same parent company as Rockstar, the studio currently making the gaming industry's most anticipated game. So if Rockstar, and in this case specifically Take-Two, is able to set pricing standards to $100, this would probably cause a bigger decline in the industry compared to what we already have. Because if we're being honest, no one is willing to shell out $100 for a game like Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, NBA 2K, or any other games that aren't going to be as impactful as a game like GTA. Why? Well, there's really only two reasons. The first reason is the fact that everything outside of gaming costs more. Rent, groceries, bills, and so on. In which case, stressing your consumer's wealth even further just adds to the dumpster fire of everything being too expensive. The second reason is due to the lack of trust between the player base and the game studios. Charging your consumer $100 for your game is a lot to ask for, especially considering the microtransactions, the subscriptions, and the consequences that we see employees suffering from due to the bad choices from the head honchos. Because if you ask me, I really don't feel like supporting a company by buying their game after bad business practices, which by the way, ranges from layoffs and all the way to games shutting down, and the latter has been happening quite recently. First it started with Concord, then XDefiant, and as of recently, Warner Bros. Multiverse. Speaking of which, there was this article made about the game's shutdown. So yeah, having the set standard to $100 doesn't really sound like a good idea, because when this happens, it's basically a slap in the face to your customers.
Wow, I just got a big headache. Wow. I was hit by a train or something?
I didn't see anything.
Earlier in the video, I mentioned Take-Two as a company being able to set pricing standards. And while I partially agree with this, depending on how gamers vote with their wallet, I want to touch on this topic really quickly. To make this short and simple, a game studio shouldn't price their game based off of the price that another company is able to get away with, and they shouldn't price their game simply based off of the standard. Rather, they should price their games based off of their quality. And while this may sound simple and obvious, it somehow clearly isn't. Especially when you look at game ratings recently.
Here he is.
That ain't SpongeBob! SpongeBob is square!
I'm ready.
No, you ain't!
At the end of the day, we can complain at Rockstar for taking too long to make a game. But at the end of it, you know what they don't do? They don't release a game that disappoints. For the most part. With all this being said, do I expect the standard pricing of GTA 6 to be $100? No. Do I expect them to set standards for modern gaming? Absolutely. Because if we can expect Rockstar to do this good of a job for what we should see in GTA 6, then we should give the same expectations to other studios. And if we do so properly, then maybe eventually $100 will be worth the purchase. But definitely not right now. However, that's the end of today's video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more content on the channel. If you have any suggestions as to what you wanted to see on the channel, then leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.